do we get our energy? Well, we get it from our food, but how does our body take that food and turn it into a usable source of energy? This process is referred to as metabolism, the chemical reactions that occur in our bodies that keep us alive, like making energy. Our bodies break down our food using a chemical process called catabolism. We aren't the only ones that use this process. In fact, all life forms have to make energy somehow. We're going to look at E. coli, a very commonly studied bacteria that lives in our intestines. Escherichia coli is a facultative anaerobe. This means that while some organisms, like humans, need oxygen to survive, and other organisms can't survive when exposed to oxygen, E. coli can actually switch back and forth between needing oxygen and not needing oxygen. So when oxygen is present, E. coli makes energy through a process called aerobic respiration, where aerobic means oxygen. This process allows E. coli to produce 38 ATP. ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate, which is just a fancy chemistry name for this energy carrier molecule. ATP is the main energy carrier in our bodies. It takes the energy we get from our food and delivers it to wherever our body needs energy. During aerobic respiration, 6 carbon dioxide molecules are also formed as a byproduct that we breathe out. So what happens when there's no oxygen around? Well, in the case of humans, we wouldn't be able to perform aerobic respiration, so we would die if we went without oxygen for too long. But since E. coli is a facultative anaerobe, it can switch to another metabolic process called anaerobic respiration, meaning without oxygen. This process is slightly less efficient than aerobic respiration, and instead, fewer than 38 molecules of ATP are made. Once again, CO2 is also formed as a byproduct that gets breathed out. There's also another metabolic process that E. coli can perform called fermentation. This process only generates 2 ATP, so it is a last resort only if the bacteria is in a situation where it cannot perform aerobic or anaerobic respiration. So to recap, aerobic respiration requires oxygen and produces 38 energy ATP. Aerobic respiration occurs without oxygen, and it produces between 2 and 38 ATP. And fermentation is a last resort because it only produces 2 ATP, and our bodies want to be able to make as much energy as efficiently as possible.